2 hours, the presenters on every news channel were saying injured but expected to make a full recovery, and I have no idea why, but it made me so angry.
For years, one of the most intriguing aspects of the ongoing debate surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle has been the silence of Princess Diana's closest relatives. While royal experts, journalists, and commentators have endlessly compared Meghan's experiences to those of the late Princess of Wales, members of the Spencer family have rarely entered the public conversation. That long silence has led many royal watchers to wonder what Diana's family truly thinks behind closed doors. Did they agree with Harry's decisions? Did they sympathize with Meghan's struggles? Or were they simply choosing to stay out of an increasingly emotional public battle? Now, renewed reports and fresh speculation have once again placed Lady Sarah McCorquodale, Princess Diana's elder sister, at the center of public attention. Although she has never been known for seeking publicity, her name has recently resurfaced in discussions about Diana's legacy, prompting new questions about how the Spencer family views the continuing comparisons between Diana and Meghan. Whether those reports accurately reflect private family opinions remains impossible to verify. Yet the renewed attention has reignited one of the biggest debates in royal circles. Who truly has the authority to speak about Diana's legacy? Unlike television commentators or royal authors, Lady Sarah knew Diana long before she became one of the most famous women in the world. She remembers the young woman behind the global headlines, the sister, the daughter, and the family member whose life changed forever after marrying into the British royal family. That unique perspective is exactly why her name continues to carry such weight whenever Diana's legacy becomes part of today's royal conversations. For Prince Harry, Diana has always remained more than a historical figure. She was his mother, his greatest inspiration, and someone whose memory has shaped many of his public decisions. Throughout numerous interviews over the years, Harry has spoken openly about believing that Meghan experienced some of the same media pressures Diana once faced. Those remarks immediately fueled comparisons that have divided public opinion. Supporters argue that both women entered one of the world's most scrutinized institutions and faced extraordinary levels of media attention. Critics, however, believe the similarities have often been overstated and that each woman's circumstances were fundamentally different. As those debates continued year after year, Diana's own relatives largely remained silent. That silence itself became meaningful. Whenever people closest to an iconic figure choose not to comment, others naturally begin filling the gaps with assumptions. Some believed the Spencer family quietly supported Harry's perspective. Others assumed they privately disagreed but preferred not to create additional headlines. The truth has never been fully known. What makes the latest discussion so fascinating is that it challenges many of those assumptions. Royal insiders have long suggested that Diana's family values privacy far more than public confrontation. Unlike many public figures connected to the monarchy, they have generally avoided becoming regular participants in media disputes. Lady Sarah, in particular, has maintained that approach for decades. Her reputation has never been built on interviews, dramatic statements, or public criticism. Instead, she has consistently chosen discretion. That history explains why every reported comment associated with her immediately attracts worldwide attention. The public naturally wonders whether someone who has remained silent for so many years might believe recent developments have reached a point where silence is no longer enough. Of course, without direct public confirmation, separating verified facts from media speculation remains essential. Still, the renewed interest highlights something much larger than one individual. It raises an important question about Princess Diana herself. Who owns her legacy? Is it the royal family? Is it Prince Harry and Prince William? Is it historians? Or does her closest family hold a unique perspective that cannot easily be replaced? These questions have become increasingly significant as Diana's memory continues influencing modern royal discussions decades after her death. Every new documentary, interview, and biography seems to bring her name back into the spotlight. Each time Harry discusses his mother's influence, public interest immediately returns. Each time Meghan is compared to Diana, another wave of debate follows. Some people see those comparisons as meaningful. Others believe they risk reducing two very different women to a single narrative. That disagreement has become one of the defining discussions surrounding today's royal family. If Lady Sarah, or any member of Diana's immediate family, were ever to publicly express concern about those comparisons, many observers believe it would inevitably reshape the conversation. Not because such views would automatically settle the debate, but because they would come from someone whose understanding of Diana extends far beyond public memory. Unlike millions who knew Diana through television screens, Sarah experienced ordinary family moments long before the cameras arrived. She witnessed Diana's personality before global fame transformed her into an international icon. Those private memories cannot be recreated by documentaries or historical analysis. They belong only to those who shared that chapter of Diana's life. That reality gives Diana's relatives a perspective unlike anyone else's. At the same time, Prince Harry has repeatedly emphasized how determined he is to preserve his mother's legacy. Throughout recent years, he has often described his desire to protect what he believes Diana stood for while ensuring her story remains relevant to future generations. Whether everyone connected to Diana shares the same interpretation of that mission remains unknown. Families rarely agree on every issue. Even those united by love and shared history can reach very different conclusions about how a loved one's memory should be honored. That possibility may explain why so much curiosity surrounds every reported reaction from Diana's family. People are not simply interested in another royal disagreement. They are searching for insight into how those closest to Diana interpret a legacy that continues influencing global headlines decades after her passing. As speculation continues growing, one thing becomes increasingly clear. This conversation is no longer only about Harry. It is no longer only about Meghan. It has become a broader discussion about memory, responsibility, history, and the lasting impact of one of the most beloved figures the monarchy has ever known. And if new voices from Diana's own family continue entering that conversation, the debate may be entering an entirely new chapter. As the discussion surrounding Princess Diana's legacy continues to evolve, one truth becomes increasingly difficult to ignore. History is rarely as simple as headlines make it appear. Every new royal controversy tends to revive old memories, and with each passing year, Diana's name remains one of the most emotionally powerful symbols connected to the British monarchy. For Prince Harry, preserving his mother's legacy has often appeared to be deeply personal. Throughout numerous public appearances and interviews, he has spoken about the lasting impact Diana's life and death had on him. He has frequently expressed concern about media intrusion, arguing that some of the same pressures his mother endured later became part of Meghan's experience. Those statements have resonated with many supporters around the world. Others, however, believe the comparisons deserve greater nuance. While both women undoubtedly experienced extraordinary public attention, critics argue that every historical period brings different circumstances, different institutions, and different challenges. Comparing two lives separated by decades is never straightforward, especially when public memory often focuses on emotional similarities rather than historical context. This difference in interpretation explains why Diana's relatives continue attracting attention whenever their names appear in royal discussions. Unlike commentators analyzing events from the outside, the Spencer family carries memories unavailable to anyone else. They remember Diana before she became an international icon. They knew her long before royal traditions, worldwide fame, and relentless media attention transformed her everyday life. Those personal memories inevitably shape how they view the ongoing conversation. That does not necessarily mean every family member shares identical opinions. Like most families, the Spencers are individuals with their own perspectives, experiences, and beliefs. Public speculation often assumes complete unity or complete disagreement, but reality is usually far more complicated. This complexity has become increasingly evident as royal debates continue generating headlines across the world. Every documentary, every biography, every interview, every newspaper headline adds another layer to a story that has never truly reached its conclusion. What began as questions surrounding Harry and Meghan's decision to step back from royal duties has gradually expanded into a broader discussion about tradition, family loyalty, media influence, and historical legacy. Some observers believe these conversations help preserve Diana's memory by reminding younger generations of the challenges she faced. Others worry that repeatedly bringing Diana into modern controversies risks turning her legacy into a permanent reference point for disputes she can no longer respond to herself. That concern has become one of the central themes in today's royal narrative. Who should define Diana's story? Should it primarily belong to historians documenting her life? To the royal family, who shared part of her public journey? To her sons, who experienced her love as children? Or to her siblings, who knew her before royalty transformed everything? There is no universally accepted answer. Instead, These different perspectives continue existing side by side, often leading to passionate disagreement among royal followers. What remains undeniable is Diana's extraordinary influence. Nearly 3 decades after her passing, conversations about her still generate worldwide attention. Few public figures have left such a lasting emotional impact across multiple generations. That influence explains why every reported opinion connected to her family immediately becomes international news. People are searching not only for new information, but for reassurance that Diana's legacy continues to be understood with fairness and respect. For Harry, the situation is equally complex. He has repeatedly described his commitment to protecting what he believes his mother stood for while also building a new life for his own family. Supporters view those efforts as honoring Diana's compassion and independence. Critics sometimes question whether repeatedly revisiting painful chapters of royal history ultimately serves that purpose. Both perspectives continue shaping public debate. The reality is that no outsider knows every private conversation taking place within either the royal family or the Spencer family. Much of what appears in headlines is based on anonymous sources, reported claims, or differing interpretations rather than confirmed public statements. That distinction is important. Separating verified information from speculation remains essential whenever discussing subjects that generate such enormous public interest. Perhaps that is the biggest lesson hidden beneath this entire story. The fascination surrounding Princess Diana has never truly been about gossip alone. It is about memory. It is about legacy. It is about the lasting influence one remarkable individual continues to have on millions of people around the world. Whether people sympathize more with Prince Harry, support the royal family, or simply admire Diana's humanitarian work, almost everyone agrees on one point. Her story still matters. And because it still matters, every discussion connected to her name carries extraordinary emotional weight. As future royal events unfold, debates surrounding Harry, Meghan, and Diana's legacy are unlikely to disappear anytime soon. New books will be published. New documentaries will be released. Fresh interviews may introduce additional perspectives. But some questions may never receive definitive answers. Only those who truly knew Diana can fully understand the woman behind the public image. The rest of the world can only piece together fragments from history, personal accounts, and public records. Perhaps that is why Diana continues captivating global audiences decades later. She remains both familiar and mysterious. Celebrated yet deeply human. Remembered through countless photographs, but truly understood by only a select few. As the conversation moves forward, one thing seems certain. Princess Diana's legacy will continue shaping discussions about the monarchy for many years to come, while Prince Harry, Meghan, and the Spencer family remain connected by a story that history is still writing. What do you think? Should Princess Diana's legacy remain separate from today's royal controversies, or is it impossible to discuss Prince Harry's journey without remembering the woman who shaped so much of his life? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the fascinating world of the British royal family.